Silence, that simple, profound tool, has long been celebrated in the art of persuasion and influence. Think back to those moments when you chose not to speak, when silence itself became your message. It's subtle but incredibly powerful, isn't it? Silence draws people in, makes them lean closer, eager to understand what's left unsaid. But here's the thing. Silence, as valuable as it is only the beginning. There's a deeper strategy, a Stoic approach, that can elevate silence into something far more potent. True Stoicism isn't just about holding your tongue. It's about making your presence felt in every room you walk into, not through words but through action, through stillness, and through a quiet strength that commands respect. Imagine walking into a room, not uttering a single word, yet everyone feels your confidence, your poise, your unwavering authority. This is the Stoic magic of silence. It's not about muting your voice, it's about choosing when and how your silence becomes a weapon of influence. But let's dig deeper into this powerful combination of silence and action. The Stoics knew that silence alone doesn't speak volumes. It's how you carry it, how you amplify it with your presence and your moves, that shapes the world around you. Today we're going to blend timeless Stoic wisdom with modern psychological insights, to uncover a strategy that goes beyond the mere absence of sound. Silence, the unspoken power. Silence is not simply the absence of noise, it's an active force in human dynamics. For centuries it's been a cornerstone of influence. Epictetus himself said, "Silence is safer than speech," and in many ways he was right. Choosing silence is not about hiding, it's about protecting your energy, preventing regretful words, and creating an air of mystery. In a world filled with noise, your silence becomes a magnet. It's magnetic because it creates a vacuum, a space that others will naturally try to fill with their own assumptions and desires. That psychological pull? It's the power of uncertainty. It's the power of people not knowing what you're thinking but feeling that what you have to say could be monumental, even though it's left unsaid. The quietness stands in stark contrast to the chaos of everyday life. Every moment of silence you choose speaks louder because it breaks the cycle, forcing others to pause, reflect, and wonder. What do you know that they don't? Are you judging them? Are you calculating your next move? It's in these moments of silence, especially during tension, that your presence can make the loudest statement. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, used this to their advantage. They mastered the art of silence not as an escape, but as a tool for clarity and self-control. By saying less they saw more. They were able to reflect, to understand, and to act with greater wisdom, unclouded by unnecessary words. Silence for them wasn't an absence. It was the beginning of reflection, a gateway to calculated action. Presence, the unseen force. But here's where the real magic happens. Silence, when enhanced with presence, becomes an unstoppable force. Presence is more than simply occupying space. It's about filling that space with something so tangible, so undeniable, that everyone around you feels it. It's that subtle yet profound aura that makes people look to you for guidance, understanding, or simply to feel your calm assurance. This concept of presence resonates deeply with Stoic philosophy. Stoics understood that their presence was not just reflected in words, but in their very existence. It was about how they carried themselves, how they embodied virtues like dignity, restraint, and resilience. Marcus Aurelius didn't need to speak constantly. His presence alone, his calm in the midst of turmoil, his unwavering sense of duty and virtue, spoke volumes. Presence with purpose is about embodying those principles consistently. It's about showing up in every room with an inner stillness that transcends the noise around you. When you're truly present, you're not just physically there, your entire being is invested in the moment. Every glance, every movement, every silence carries weight. And this quiet strength, this deep well of self-control, compels others to listen without you ever needing to say a word. Mastering your silence, amplifying your presence. But how do you cultivate this kind of presence? It starts with self-awareness and intentionality. Stoicism teaches us to be mindful of every action, every gesture. When you enter a room, are you aware of how you stand? How your posture might reflect calm confidence? Your expressions, your movements, your breathing, all these nonverbal cues speak louder than words. In conversation, a Stoic doesn't simply listen passively. They engage but quietly. They observe, they reflect, and they choose their words carefully. When they speak, it's with purpose, with intent. They understand the value of consistency. Their actions are in harmony with their beliefs, which builds trust and respect in every relationship. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of choosing your environment wisely. In a world constantly bombarding us with distractions, picking places that align with your values, whether that's a quiet corner in a busy office or a strategic seat at a meeting table, can help reinforce the calm, composed presence you wish to project. The dance of controlled visibility. Now let's dive into a crucial element of Stoic influence: controlled visibility. In social dynamics, sometimes less is more. Choosing when to step back and when to step forward is an art that not only preserves your energy but also elevates your influence. This is about knowing when to be present, when to speak up, and, just as importantly, when to remain silent. Controlled visibility isn't about playing games or being elusive. It's about aligning your presence with purpose. It's about knowing that your value is not in being constantly visible but in choosing when your presence can have the most impact. Whether in a social setting, a business meeting, or even a family gathering, this principle ensures that when you do engage, your contributions are meaningful, your words carry weight, and your silence forces others to pause and reconsider. This principle aligns perfectly with the Stoic ideal of thoughtful speech. As Marcus Aurelius taught, speak only when it serves a higher purpose. By carefully selecting when to engage, your silence becomes a tool that amplifies your impact, commanding respect and reflection from others. Impact, the art of subtle influence. True influence isn't about grand gestures or loud declarations. It's about subtlety. It's about understanding the nuances of human interaction and navigating them with grace. The Stoics understood this well. They knew that influence comes not from force but from character. From consistent virtue, from the quiet power of wisdom, and from knowing when to act and when to stay silent. The art of impact isn't just about what you do, it's also about what you choose not to do. Sometimes, the most powerful influence comes from stepping back, allowing others to learn, to grow, to find their own way. This subtlety, this art of restraint, builds respect and strengthens your position as a leader, as a friend, and as a guide. In every aspect of life, we can choose to live according to Stoic principles: wisdom, courage, moderation, and justice. By aligning our actions with these values, we can ensure that our influence isn't just temporary, it's lasting. It becomes a ripple, a legacy that extends far beyond the immediate moment. And it all begins with mastering silence and amplifying it with presence and purpose, leaving a legacy. So, as we conclude, let's remember that silence isn't just about not speaking. It's about making your silence resonate. It's about filling those quiet moments with presence, with purpose, and with intention. This is the true power of silence, not simply the absence of sound but the presence of meaning. By practicing Stoic virtues, by cultivating a presence that speaks without words, and by mastering the art of controlled visibility, you don't just influence the world around you, you become a force of nature in it. Every word, every gesture, every silence is a choice that shapes your legacy. So, what will your silence say about you? What will your presence leave behind? Thank you for joining me today in exploring the depths of silence and presence. Remember, in a world full of noise, your quiet moments are your strongest statement. For more insights on blending ancient wisdom with modern strategies, subscribe to Resilient Wisdom and check out the next video on your screen.